If you want to know how to enforce standards in your relationship to get him working for this relationship forever without getting upset with him, without damaging the respect that you've already built in your relationship with him, without having to leave the relationship for him to finally realize your worth, and you want to do all of this still while staying in your feminine energy, then stick around because it's all coming up right now. Hi, welcome back to The Vibration Vault. My name is Alia Zaray. I help women all over the world navigate their love life in a more feminine way. So if this sounds like something that you want to do, make sure to subscribe to stick around. Okay, let's begin. Men don't like to be told what to do or how to behave, but sometimes they need to be guided without telling him what to do and without coming across as being really naggy. You have to make him come to this realization on his own, independently. So this is what you're going to do. First of all, he has to feel like he is the type of person that makes good decisions, or he is capable of making good decisions. Secondly, he needs to feel like he has come to this conclusion on his own. So he feels like he's the one making this decision independently. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are fearful that he may cheat in this relationship because perhaps you've had a past experience in a previous relationship where that ended up happening to you. You could go into your masculine energy and you could say, I don't want you to compromise this relationship and embarrass me in any kind of way. But when you do this, you don't look like the prize. And now, if he wasn't thinking about other women, or he wasn't interested or curious about other women, he definitely is now. Think about it. If you don't think that you are the prize, and you are threatened or fearful of another woman coming to take your man, then obviously you are not the prize in your own eyes, and that is going to manifest into his reality too. And he's also going to start to believe that, yeah, okay, maybe she isn't the prize. So instead, you are going to go into your feminine energy and you are going to say, you're a smart man, baby. That's what I love the most about you. You know what's good for you and you are smart enough to never compromise that. Now, when you say this, he's going to start to think, you know what? Yeah, I am a smart man. And yes, I do know what's good for me, which is obviously you. And no, he would never want to compromise your relationship and this beautiful foundation that you and him have built together. In his head, he has now come to this realization on his own. And he has had the autonomy to make that decision on his own. This has much more of an impact than if you were to start telling him how to behave and what to do and what not to do. But really, it's a thought that you have put in his head without actually directly telling him what to do or how to behave. What you have done is you have subconsciously guided him to agreeing with this belief that you have about him, which he is now going to subconsciously want to live up to and fulfill. So now he's going to want to fulfill this new self-fulfilled prophecy that he has begun to believe to be true about himself, which of course is really the thought that you put in his head. So what happens now is the more times you tell him positive things about himself, like in this instance, you have said, you're a smart man, baby. You know what's good for you. And that's what I love the most about you. Now he's going to start to believe that he is a smart man. He's going to start behaving like a smart man who's not going to compromise this, because it starts to manifest into his reality the more times he is told that he is this type of person, because his subconscious does not have eyes. It cannot see his reality. So the more he is told he is this certain type of person, it will over time start to manifest into his identity and into his reality, making him live up to every single expectation that you have of him. The second thing that you need to understand is never ever ever in the history of the planet has a man chosen a woman because of how hard she has worked for this relationship. A man falls in love with a woman as he works to get her to fall in love with him. I'm going to teach you how. He needs to feel like he has you, but he doesn't fully have you. What this means is sometimes you have to talk down to him from time to time. When you do this, it reminds him that you are the prize. You have to stand firm in your standards, stand firm in your boundaries. Let me give you an example. Let's say flowers once a week is your standard, and you have communicated this to him, and he is continuously not making the effort. You could use option 1, and you could go into your masculine energy, and you could say, why do you never get me flowers? Everyone else's partner always gets some flowers. You never even make the effort with me. Gosh, you are so lucky that I am still around. You are literally the worst partner ever. When you say this, he's not going to want to change his behavior, because now by saying this, he knows that regardless of whether or not he changes his behavior, you are going to stick around anyway. He doesn't have the fear of losing you. He doesn't have the fear of you potentially leaving. So instead, you are going to use option 2, and you are going to enter your feminine energy, and you are going to say, baby, if you want to be with me and you want to experience the best version of me, then I need to be happy. If I'm not happy, you never will be, because I won't be able to show up for you as the best version of myself. Flowers once a week makes me feel happy and special and thought about. It's a non-negotiable for me. It's just the type of treatment that I'm used to. I'm not telling you to buy me flowers. I'm just telling you because I don't want you to feel blindsided when I'm no longer here anymore. You see, when you say this, the emphasis is not really on the flowers. It's on the fact you've asked him for a small, cute, inexpensive gesture that he knows makes you happy and that he is capable of doing. And he has actively chosen not to do it. What about when it comes to the bigger things? When you are both married? What about the bigger things when you are pregnant, carrying his child, and you need him to do a few cute small things for you to make you feel good, because at that moment in time you can't do it for yourself? What other small things might you ask for whilst you're pregnant that he is capable of doing, that he's just actively going to choose not to do, because you have let him learn this behavior? You've let him learn that this behavior is okay and this behavior with you is acceptable, and it's obviously not. For a man to invest in you long term, he has to have the fear of losing you. He has to have the fear of losing you to have that want and desire to impress you. And like I said, a man falls in love with a woman as he works to make her fall in love with him. The final thing is that men will always try to get you for less. Whether they are a great guy or a shady guy, whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, men will always do this. They cannot help it, especially if they are not used to a woman of your caliber. He will try to barter the price with you and try and get it lower and lower, as if he's at some sort of market stall. What they try to do is they try to see if they can get a good woman for less, because everyone loves a good deal. Everyone likes to feel like they've won and got a bargain. He wants to get you below market value. But darling, of course, you have to remind him that he is no longer at the market. He is in fact at Chanel. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're in a relationship right now and you are both living separately and your lease is coming to an end. His lease is still going strong, and he suggests that why don't you move in with him and you guys can go 50-50, or he might even suggest that he will pay all of the rent and you will just pay the bills. In your head, that sounds like a fair trade to you. You could enter your masculine energy and you could get excited and you could take him up on that offer. Or even worse, you could say to him, how dare you suggest that to me? Do you really think I'm a 50-50 type of woman? You are so cheap and you are definitely not the man of my dreams. And then you could go to the extreme of blocking him. When you do this, you are entering your masculine energy. It's unnecessary. You do not need to do this when you are a feminine woman. There is another way that you can handle this. So instead, you are going to use option 2 and you are going to go into your feminine energy. And you are going to say, actually, darling, I think I'm just going to renew my lease here. Of course, I would love to move in with you, but I'd only really do that once a man is willing to take full financial responsibility of us. And until then, I think I feel much safer where I am. When you do this, you're going to question his hero complex. Every single man has a hero complex. They want to be the superhero in your life. So by telling him you don't feel safe, it's now going to bruise his ego. Now he's going to want to do everything in his power to make you feel safe and show you that, yes, you are safe with me. And yes, I will do everything in my power to make this move possible on your terms. Now he will know if he ever wants you in that capacity and have the privilege of having access to you in that way, then he is going to have to start investing a lot more into you. It's so important that you do not take the bait. Even if it means that renewing your lease means you're going to be paying more, and if you were to move in with him, it would be a better financial move, you're actually jeopardizing your relationship with him in the future. Like, you cannot earn wife status and wife title as a trophy wife and be provided for and looked after and taken care of in that capacity when you are agreeing to take the bait. You are agreeing to his first offer. You're letting him call the shots. I know what you're thinking. Why would I choose to pay more in rent than just cover a few small bills and I get to live with him? It's not about the money. It's about the principle. By accepting to contribute even a small amount, you have lowered your value in his eyes. Now he knows he can get you for less, and what happens is it creates a domino effect. Once you take a stand and you reject his offer, just watch how much he changes his tune. Watch how much he starts to step up and make this possible for you. Watch how much he starts investing in you. And like I've said, a man has to invest in you in order to value you and see you as a long-term partner. You have to call his bluff. If you accept his offer, he's going to now think that he can barter with you. And what he's going to think is that he's now still down at the market stall. And obviously, he's going to treat you accordingly. Like I said, you need to remind him that he's at Chanel now. And as we all know, there's no negotiations at Chanel. Just like there's no negotiations on your standards. So remember, when you set the price high and you stand firm in your standards and boundaries, no matter how tempting or attractive his offer may seem to be, he's then reminded that he's no longer at that market stall. You are someone of a higher value. And if you treat yourself as if you are someone of a higher value, he will also treat you as someone of a higher value. And he will do everything in his power to meet your standards and be able to have access to you in that capacity. When you don't take the bait, he's subconsciously led to believe that you are of a higher value. Overall, it doesn't matter whether you are dating or in a new relationship or in a long-term relationship. These are steps that you can implement to enforce your standards and boundaries within the relationship that will have him working for your relationship until the end of time. So that is a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to hit the thumbs up. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, mwah, I love you. Bye.